Do you know what is the sum of the exterior angles of any triangle?
No, ma'am.
Okay, let's look at the simulation here. If you drive along the triangle, every turn makes an exterior angle. When you take 3 turns, you are at the initial position. So, what does it make?
Ma'am, a full circle.
Absolutely right, and that is?
Ma'am, a 360-degree angle.
Great work, Vansh.
Math learning should not feel like detention. Swap endless worksheets with engaging one-to-one classes by math experts.
Hi Ankit, how are you? Do you know what?
Hello and welcome to this Math Olympiad Masterclass. A very good morning to everyone joining from all over the country. This is our third masterclass in the series where we are teaching all the students higher order logical reasoning questions and beyond math questions that come up in various competitive exams and Olympiads. So students who already attended our last masterclass, welcome back again, and all new students, I hope you will have a good time learning and you will learn a lot of new concepts. I am Nancy. I am going to be your instructor for today's masterclass. In our last masterclasses, we had Manan, our founder, CEO and the first teacher. I am the second teacher of Cuemath and head of teacher community. And I'll be your instructor for today, and I've already taught hundreds of students so far. And I would love to take this masterclass with our lovely grade 3 and 4 students who are attending this from all over the country. So let me tell you how we will learn today. I'll teach you a certain topics and I'll explain you the ways and processes to solve the questions. You will solve the questions with me and you will solve and reply in the comments with your answers. I have a big screen here in front of me. I'll be able to see your questions and answers. So I request all of you to participate in all the questions and feel free to solve it. And bring your notebook and pen quickly because it will need notebook and pen for you to solve it. And I want all of you to solve and post your answers. Quickly go and grab your notebook. And I also request all the students who are attending this class, send this link to your friends who are in your class, in your school. And also if you have grade 3 and 4 students in your neighborhood, it will just take 30 seconds for you to share the link. Quickly share this link and give benefit to all the students and give this benefit to them to learn all the things that we will teach today. I hope all of you have brought your pen and notebook. And I can see, so are you ready and excited to start the class? Okay, so before we start our class, I would love to tell you what Cuemath is and what we do. So Cuemath does online tutoring from grade K to 12. We teach math from kindergarten all the way to high school. There are a lot of students who have won ranks and medals in Olympiads with us. They've been taking classes and we do teach math at school level and beyond school level. If you are already a Cuemath student, I hope you must already be learning great from your tutors. And if you are not a Cuemath student, go to our website and you can book a free trial. You can take a trial with us, and if you like our teaching, you can get enrolled and be consistent in learning all the math problems that we will teach you today. Okay, so let's start with our session today. I'll teach you 4 topics today, 4 sections, and after every section, there will be an interesting puzzle for all of you to solve. And once we are done with all the sections, there will be an interesting Kahoot quiz at the end. That quiz will have questions from the topic that I'll teach you today. So please be attentive in the session, learn all the things very carefully, observe carefully, solve every question with me, and top 3 winners from Kahoot quiz will win goodies and prizes from Cuemath. So I hope all of you are ready to start. Let's start with the first topic, which is analogy. Let me see if all of you are ready. Can I get a yes in the comments? Are you excited to learn? Can I quickly get yes? Okay, I can see a lot of emojis coming. I request all students to not spam the chat with emojis and other things. Just post your answers. Okay, let's start. So first topic for today is analogy. Let's understand what is analogy. Let's first understand the meaning of analogy. Analogy is like when we compare two things which are not same, which are different, but they have some relationship in common. So for instance, think of a key and a lock. A key is used to open the lock, and think of another pair, which is password and a computer. So password is also used to open a computer. Both these pairs, they are different, but they are doing the same thing. They have something in common. One is used to open the other. So this pair is called analogous. So we call as key is to lock as password is to computer. This is how we read the questions. Let's now see the questions that come under this theme. This is the first question. Identify the relation and find the missing figure. This is how, let me read this question again for you. This figure is to this figure as this is to this. Now we need to carefully look at this pair. We need to find out relationship in this pair, and then we will have to apply same relationship in this pair to identify the figure which will come at this place. Now let's see what is this pair. It's a square and it is a cube. Can you figure out a relationship between this pair? This square is face of this cube. So when we combine these 6 squares, we get a cube. So this is face of this figure. Can you apply the same relationship here in this pair? This is a tetrahedron made by combining 4 triangles. What is the face of this? Can I get the answer? I can already see everyone replying D. Yes. So face of this figure is triangle. This is how we figure out relationship in the given pair and apply the same relationship to the next pair. Let's quickly move on to next question. See what is the relationship between this pair and what should come at this question mark. We have 3 triangles here, one inside the other. We have 3 squares here, one inside the other. What is the relationship in this figure? Okay, it's very clear. Triangle is of 3 sides and square is made up of 4 sides. So this figure is clearly one side more than this side. Here we have pentagon with 5 sides. So can you tell me what will come here in this place? Yes, a lot of D's. Everyone is replying D. Okay, this means you are learning and you are getting this concept. Yes, the answer is D, hexagon. 5, and this should have 6 lines, figure with 6 lines. Okay, quickly move on to next. Identify the relationship and find the missing number. This one. Now look at this figure very carefully. We need to see how this figure is related to this figure. It is a cone, it's a 3D figure. Again, this is also a 3D figure. How is this figure obtained from this figure? Can you see what is happening here? Okay, let me explain. If we cut top of this cone, if we cut it, then this will become this shape. Applying the same logic to this, can you apply the same logic? If we cut top of this cylinder, what will be the answer? Okay, I can see some D's, C, and most of them are B's, some D's and some A's also. So let me explain. This is a cylinder. If we cut top of this cylinder, it will still remain a cylinder. So answer is B. Yeah. Okay, now I can see everyone replying B. Let's move on to next question. Identify the relation and find the missing figure here. Okay, now I'll give you some time to solve this question. See what is the relationship between these two figures and what should come here. Okay, I'll give you 30 seconds to solve. Some mixed answers, but most of the answers are C. Okay, so let me explain. This figure has 3 sides, this figure has 6 sides. This is double of 3, which is 6. So from a triangle, we are getting hexagon. Now look at this figure, this is 4. So what is double of 4? It is 8, hence we will get octagon. So answer is C. So clearly look at the figure which is given, find out the relationship and then see how that relationship is holding good with the other pair. Moving on to next question. This is a strategy, let's just revise it once again. We need to look at the relationship in the given pair and we need to then find the missing part and see the relationship which is holding true with the second pair. Okay, this is again very easy. Look at this figure and find out what should come there. Okay, let's take some time. Again, mixed answers, few B's and D's. Most of the answers are D. Okay. Okay, so let me explain this question to you. This is M, and from M, how are we obtaining this figure? Let me explain first of all the rotation concept to you, clockwise and anti-clockwise. So what is clockwise? In a clock, we see the direction of movement of hands. In a clock, hands move in this direction. So any movement which is happening in this direction is a clockwise direction, and any movement which is happening in the opposite direction of the movement of hands of the clock, it is called anti-clockwise. Now, if we divide this circle into 4 parts, this is called a quarter. Then if we move from this to this place, it's a quarter. If we take complete turn to opposite end, this is called half turn, which is 2 quarters. If we take this turn, it will be 3/4 turn, and if we come in this way, complete the circle, this is a full turn. So let's apply the logic here. What is happening in this figure? How is this M changing its shape to this? It is taking 1 turn, 1/4 turn clockwise. So M and just rotating like this. Similarly, apply the logic here. I can see everyone, okay. Again, here we can see the mixed answers. Few are replying D and few are also replying B and C. Okay, look at this figure carefully. This is W, just turn it like this, 1/4. So answer is D. Yeah, most of the answers are D's only. Okay, let's move on to next question quickly. Here is the pair. Find out relationship in this and see what should come in the missing figure. I'll give some time to you to solve. Okay, D, B, few are replying A too. I think most of you are saying D. Let me explain what is the answer. Let's figure out the relationship in this figure. Here, this one arrow, this is becoming a downward arrow. which means it is moving in a clockwise direction by 1/4. It's 90 degree, but you can say it 1/4, like pen is this and it is moving like this, completing 1/4. Look at this arrow. How is this changing its direction? This arrow is moving here and becoming this, right? And look at this arrow, it is again moving in clockwise direction and going upwards. And look at this arrow, it is also moving in clockwise direction and becoming this here. So every arrow in this figure is taking 1/4 turn clockwise. Now apply the same logic here. This arrow, if takes clockwise 90 degree or 1/4 turn, it will go up. Similarly, this arrow, it will change its direction in this way. If this arrow moves in 1/4 90 degree, it will come like this, and this arrow moves 90 degree clockwise, it will come this way. Now this is matching this figure, right? So answer is D. Now I can see everyone is replying D, 100% D. Okay, yeah, it is 100% D. Let's move on to next question in the same theme. Identify the relationship in this figure and see what comes in the missing place. Okay. I can see everyone is replying the same. Lot of D's and someone is replying A as well, but most of the answers are D. Yes, it's D. Let me explain it quickly to you. We see two figures here, two triangles, one with the dotted line and one with the solid line. So they are just swapping their places. Solid one is going out and the dotted one is going in. Similarly here, dotted one will go in and solid one will go out. So this is the answer. Only in this figure, the solid rectangle is here and dotted rectangle is going inside it. So very simple, answer is D. Okay, now 100% D, yes. And I want all of you to reply, even if you feel your answer is wrong, it's fine, but listen to every question very carefully and reply. Okay, moving on to the next question in the same theme. Again, I will now give you time to solve it. Look at that figure carefully, very easy, it's very simple, and see what will come here in this place. I can see few A's and then most of you are replying D. Take your time. I want you to look at it carefully. Look at the figure very carefully. Don't be in a hurry. Look at the relationship very carefully. See how that triangle is getting changed to square and what is happening to the lines which are inside the triangle. Okay, I can see most of you have started giving the right answer. Let me explain. This is triangle with 3 sides and here we have square with 4 sides, and lines inside the triangle are 4 and we have 3 lines here. Now relationship is number of sides are getting increased by 1 and the lines which are inside the figure are getting decreased by 1. Applying the same relationship here, we have 5 lines here which is a pentagon. So it will increase, it will become hexagon, and number of lines are getting reduced, so this 2 will become 1. So this is the only relationship which is holding true for this figure. Okay, moving on to next now. Okay, so this was the last question in the analogy theme. I hope you have learned. I can see all the answers are coming right now. Let's solve the puzzle now. After every section, we will have a puzzle, an interesting puzzle for you. Now, I want you to look at this puzzle and quickly see what is there in it, and I'll give you some time to solve it. I'll read it for you. If you write down all the numbers from 1 to 100, then how many times do you write 8? How many times do you write this digit 8 while writing numbers from 1 to 100? Take some time. Okay. I want you to write the number of times this 8 will come in this grid from numbers from 1 to 100. Okay, there are a lot of, again there are answers all over the place. Think of it very carefully. All are mixed answers. So let me explain this to you systematically, and then you try to figure out the answer. Imagine this grid of numbers from 1 to 100. Imagine there is a grid where we have arranged numbers in rows, 1 to 10, 11 to 20, then 21 to 30, 41 to 50. So in this way we will have 10 rows. Now look at the digit at ones place in each row. In first row it's 8, then it's 18, then 28, 38, 48, 58 and up to 98. So 8 appearing in ones place in these rows. It will be 10 times, 8, 18, 28, 38, 48 going up to 98. Now find out the row where we have number 8 at the tens place. It is from 80 to 89, 80, 81, 82 all the way up to 89, we have 8 at tens place. So count the numbers, they are 10. So 10 in the horizontal section and 10 in the vertical section, we get 20 numbers having digit 8 in them. So we are writing 8 20 times while writing numbers from 1 to 100. Now I can see, yeah, everyone is replying as 20. Let's move on to our next section now. The second section, embedded figures. What are embedded figures? So embedded figures are the shapes and the pictures which are hidden inside a bigger picture. So it can be like we are given a bigger picture and we need to identify a shape which is hidden inside it. So you can now think of a hut that we draw on a paper. Now inside the hut, a triangle can be hidden in the roof, or if you look at the door, the rectangle shape is hidden inside the door. So these are the embedded figures wherein we need to find out a figure which is hidden inside a smaller figure, the bigger figure. Okay, let's see the questions that come under this theme. Let's see what this question says. Which figure is hidden in this given figure? So look at this figure carefully. There is so we have a shape, square shape here, and we need to see which of these options, which is that one option which is hidden inside this figure. I can see all of you have already identified, it's option D. So this part, if we take it here and overlay on this figure, it will exactly overlay over it. It will exactly match this figure. So this shape is hidden inside this figure. These are called embedded figures. Let's move on to next question. And so right in the beginning in every theme you will get easy questions, but as we move ahead steadily you will start getting difficult ones. So whenever I am explaining any question to you, understand it very carefully because the difficulty level will keep on increasing now on. Now this is a figure and you have 4 options. Let's see which option is hidden inside this figure. I can see all the answers coming are right, but let me quickly explain this to you. You can see that this shape is exactly here, if we pick it up and overlay on this shape, it will exactly fit in this shape. So here in these questions you need to, if you are able to find out the right option in one go, then don't look at the other options, because there'll always be one option which is hidden in this figure. All of you are replying C? Yeah. So we will now move on to next question. I hope you have understood the way how we solve these questions. So there is a strategy. You need to look at the familiar shapes and focus on the edges, lines and curves, and look at the total picture, and you can also flip the picture, turn your head, tilt your head, and move picture here and there to see how the given shape is fitting on the bigger picture. And also don't look at the entire picture. Try breaking the picture in parts and then try to identify the parts which can fit there. So these are few strategies which we can use to solve these questions. Okay, let's figure this out. Which shape out of this is hidden inside this bigger picture? I'll give some time to you to figure it out. Okay, some C's. Most of the answers are correct, but I can see a few B's and D's as well. If you are saying very, very easy, let me explain this for all the students who are replying B and A. So let's look at this part. Here we have two rectangles, and in this figure we have two rectangles, but they are in different shape. Here they are placed sideways, and here they are placed one on the other. So this is ruled out, this option is not there. If we look at this figure, which is like inverted L, two L's are placed here. If we had a line here, then this shape would have, it would have been there, but this is again ruled out, it's not possible. Look at this shape now. If we, okay, let me erase this first. Okay, let's trace this part. This part is exactly looking like this part. So ignoring this inner part, if we pick it up and overlay over it, it will be perfectly fitting over this shape. So this shape is embedded in this figure. Okay, so let's move on to next question now. Which figure is hidden in this figure? This is a bit trickier. Take your time to solve this question. Look at every shape carefully. Okay, I can see you're replying easy, but I haven't started seeing the right answer yet. Again, answers are all over the place. If you are replying A, B, D, C, look at the shape very carefully. Let me explain this to you. Look at this shape, A. This way. Can you see that it is here? Or if you invert it, it can also come in this way. So let's, this shape, there are no such lines here which have a triangle with them, so this will not fit. Again, this is also not here. We have some similar shape, but then it is getting changed. Again, this is also not a part of this. very clearly this first shape is, if we pick it up and overlay over it, very clearly it will fit into this figure. Yeah. Okay, let me see the comments if you have understood. Okay, let's move on to next question in the same theme. Look at this figure carefully and look at the options. Which figure is hidden in this given figure? Few are replying not so easy, but we have understood. Okay, you will get to know once you start solving more questions. So, it's all about practice. You need to practice a lot to solve these questions. The more you practice, better you will get at solving it. Look at this figure and see which shape is hidden in this figure. Okay. Most of you have already figured out, it's very easy, it's very direct. If we see this A, if we look at this part, it's clearly matching this option A. Yeah. So, answer is A. I can see everyone replying as A. Let's move on to the next one. Now, these are the questions again of embedded figures, but the different one. Here we are given a part of the picture and we need to figure out the bigger picture. In earlier questions, we were given the bigger picture and we had to identify the parts, small parts which were a part of that bigger picture. Here it's reversed. We have a very small part and you need to see where will this part fit into these shapes. So, it's a crescent moon. Let's see which of these figures, which has the crescent moon. This doesn't have, this also doesn't have properly, it has, but the shape is not exactly the same. I can see that here this shape is hidden, yeah. It can, this shape can clearly overlay over this figure. All of you have already identified C and few are writing very, very, very easy, okay. Let's see if you have understood, let's see if you can solve this question. Where is this shape hidden in these four big pictures? Which picture has this shape, exactly this shape? I think most of you again have already identified. Look at this shape. There is a straight line and then there is a line coming here and it is going here. So, this shape is a part of this figure. Now, let us look at other options as well. This also looks familiar, but here we have a straight line, we have another line, but this is going in this direction, here it is going in this direction. So, I could see a few students replying C. So, this C is not the option here because even if we invert it, it will not be fitting on this shape. Okay. So, A is the answer. Let us move on to next question. In which figure is the given figure hidden? Yeah. It is a bit trickier one. You need to look at all the edges, all the curves, tilted lines, and you need to use your visualization and imagination because in first go it is not very evident in which figure it is hidden. And I will give you some time to solve. I will give you 30 seconds. I will wait for the right answer. Okay, C and D, few are saying. Few are writing D and writing C as well. Let me explain this to you. when you get such questions, always try to trace the shape. It is starting with a curve. So let's see in how many figures we have a curve which is immediately touching a point. So if we go here, it is there, but then there is no straight line, because here it's coming like this, then going in this direction, and then coming straight. Look at this figure. If we see this part coming here, but then after this there is a straight line. So, and it's going like this. So this is also not the option. If you come here and see figure, come at this point, it's going here, then go in this direction, and then it's going straight downwards, and then taking a turn. So this figure is exactly matching one of the parts of this shape. Hence, C is the answer. Again, you need to practice a lot. Look at the curves, lines and edges very carefully. Sometimes you have to, turn around, break the bigger picture into smaller ones and see how they are matching. So these are some tricks which you can solve too, which you can use to solve these problems. Going to next question, in which figure is the given figure hidden? Again, very straightforward. We have 4 options. We have a slanting line and a straight line and a very small line. Let me see if you are able to figure out. I think it's very, very easy. I can see all the answers are right, almost right. Okay, so the answer is answer is B. Look at this shape, one slanting line, straight line and this. Here, slanting line, straight line, and then it's coming. It's very clear that it's hidden in this picture. I could already see B as answer in the option. Now moving to next figure. This is very, very simple. This is very, very simple. I think you can quickly see and look at the figure where this triangular thing is hidden. Yeah, all of you are replying C. I think the questions are easy or you have understood the concept very well. Everyone is replying C. This is a triangle shape and here it is hidden. Yeah. Okay, so I think this concept is clear. Let's see if we have more problems here. Yeah. So embedded figures, again, we need to look at the pictures and the larger picture and match the shape using some visualization and using some techniques. And questions are of 2 types. Sometimes we are given bigger picture, we need to find a smaller picture in that. Sometimes we are given a smaller picture and we need to see the bigger pictures and see where it fits. Okay, so this is end of section 2. Now after every section we have a puzzle. So here also we have a very interesting puzzle for all of you. We already solved these sort of questions in our last master class. So let me see how many of you still remember. Let me read out the puzzle for you. In a row of students of Ravi's class, Ravi is 17th from either end of the row. How many students are there in his class? Read the puzzle very carefully and see where is Ravi standing, what is his position, and then see how many students are there in the class. We'll wait for your answers. Okay. I can see most of you have started posting the right answer. Few answers are not right, but most of you are right. Let me give you some more time. Okay. So let's see what is the answer to this question. In a row of students in Ravi's class, Ravi is 17th from either end of the row. So imagine this is the row and Ravi is standing here, which is 17th from the either end, which means from this end and from this end. There are how many people, how many students will be behind Ravi then? If he is 17th from this end, it will be 16. And how many students will be ahead of Ravi from this end? It will be 16. So 16 plus 16 and then 1 is Ravi himself. 16 plus 16 plus 1, which is 33. I could see most of you already gave the right answer, which is 33. I hope you are enjoying solving these questions, and everyone keep trying, keep posting your answers. I can look at the answers that all of you are posting. Remember, we will have a Kahoot quiz at the end, and all the questions that we are explaining will come in Kahoot quiz in one or the other way. Okay. So now we are moving to our next section, which is perimeter. So let's first understand what is perimeter. Perimeter is the distance which is around the outside of a shape. So imagine you are walking in a playground, you are walking at the edge of the playground. So the distance that you will walk around the edge, the total distance that you will travel will be the perimeter of that playground. In simple terms, we can say that perimeter is the length of the boundary or length of the border. So let's imagine there is a square of side 5. In square, we have all the sides same. So if one side is 5, what will be the perimeter? 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, which is 20. So now let's see what questions come in perimeter under this theme. Sometimes we, under this perimeter theme, if you know how to calculate the perimeter, sometimes some total perimeter is given and we need to find out length of a segment, and sometimes segments are given and we need to identify the length of the segments, and then we need to find out the total boundary of that figure. So it's reverse, sometimes length is given, we need to find out perimeter, sometimes perimeter is given and we need to find length of some segments. I hope you have understood the meaning of perimeter. Now let's see how the questions come under this theme. This is our first question. Look at the figure very carefully. Look at this figure very carefully. We have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. This is the figure. Look at the lines. Look at the horizontal lines and the vertical lines. There are some measurements also given. 15 centimeter, 6 centimeter, 2 centimeter. We need to find length of CD. I can see students have already started replying the right answers, but let me explain this question to all of you. We need to find out length of this segment. Now quickly see. So here you need to see what all segments are adding up to make one bigger segment. For example, here in this HG, FE, DC, all are adding up to make this complete horizontal segment. So let's complete this figure by this dotted line and look at this line HC. If we know length of this portion and we know length of this portion and we know the entire length, then can we find DC from here? Yes. What is this entire length? It's the opposite side of the rectangle. 15, so this will be 15. This is 2, this is 6, because this is opposite side of this smaller rectangle, this is 6, hence this will also be 6. 6 plus 2, 8. Total length is 15, 15 minus 8, 7. Yeah, I could see that all of you already started replying the right answer. This is the logic. So we need to look at the figure very carefully, need to see the horizontal segments and vertical segments, and need to see what smaller segments are adding up to make a bigger segment, and then we need to do some addition and subtraction, and that's how we solve these questions. Move on to next. Let me see how much you've understood. As I said, questions will start from a very less difficult level, and we will steadily and gradually move to some complicated questions. So now look at this figure. ABCD and PQRS are two rectangles. Find the length CQ. This is the length we need to find out. Let me see if you can solve this. Look at the figure very carefully. And few students are just spamming the chat. Write the right answers. Even if the answers are not right, it's fine, but don't spam. Okay, you need to find out CQ. I can see few of you have already. Can somebody also explain the logic? Can somebody explain how they have solved? I'll give you some time to explain the logic as well if you can write the entire statement. Okay, some few have started explaining the logic. Let me explain how to calculate this. CQ is a part of this rectangle P, Q, R and S. We need to find this CQ. Can we find this CQ if we know the length of PQ and we subtract PC from it? Then we will be able to find CQ. Now what is length of PQ? It's very clear, it's the opposite side of this rectangle. So this will be 13. Now how to find this PC? PC is part of this rectangle, right? Now how can we find PC? We can find PC if we know this entire length, which is DC, and subtract DP. This entire length is 11. This is 7. 11 minus 7 is 4. So we get PC as 4. Now we know this is 13, we know this is 4, we subtract simply 4 from 13 and we get this length as 9. Okay. I could see a lot of you already explained the logic. I hope you have understood this. Always look at the segments very carefully, see what can we add and subtract to get the segment which is asked. Moving on to this figure. Let's find length of X and Y. I'll give you some time. Let's first find length of X. Let's first find X. I'll give you some time to solve it. Look at this figure carefully. Okay, I'll help. I can see a few right answers, but let me tell you how we can start solving these questions. Whenever we get such figures, we can complete the inner side of the figure by dotted lines. We can make maximum squares or rectangles. So in this figure, if you see, if I join this to this and if I join these 2 points, we can see that this 55 length of the opposite side will be 55. This is 40. So length of this portion will be 40 and this is 30. So length of this portion will be 30. Easy. Now we can add all of these lengths, 55 plus 40 plus 30, which is 125. We can calculate X like this. Now let me see if you can calculate Y also using the same logic. What is the value of Y? Now I want all of you to just reply the value of Y. X is 125, we have already calculated. Just reply the value of Y. For Y, I can see the mixed answers. Okay. X was very straightforward. But for y, let me tell you how we can So for y, there are two ways to solve it, but let me explain the first way. This portion is 60 and this is 70. So the entire length from this place to this place will be 60 plus 70, which is 130, right? If this is 130, if this is 130, can we say if this is 130, this entire segment, because it is the opposite side of this part, will also be 130, right? Now, look at this segment. If this entire part is 130 and this is 50, how can we get this y? Very simple, 130 minus 50, which is 80. This is one way to solve. There is another way as well. We can complete this figure, we can complete this rectangle, and we know this is 50, we know this is 60, and this entire length is 130. So if we add this 60 and this 50, 60 plus 50 is 110. And we subtract 110 from 130, it will be 20. So length of this portion will be 20 and y will be 60 plus 20. So you can use any way to find answer to such questions. There are usually multiple ways in such questions. Okay. I hope you have understood this. Okay, let's move on to this question. It is very simple. Look at the figure very carefully. We have P, Q, R, S, 4 squares, and we need to find the side length of square P. We need to find this out. Find length of square P. Can you solve this question? And then I'll quickly, this is very, very easy. Look at the figure very carefully. R and S are of the same size. Answer to this question, what is length of P? Okay, let me quickly explain this to you. Length of P, whenever we get such questions, always look at the measurements, those are given to us. Here we have this 42 entire length which is given to us, and we need to find this out. So if we subtract this portion from the entire length, we will be able to find this answer. Now let's see how can we find the length of this portion. We know entire horizontal segment is 42. Do we know this measurement? Yes, it's given. It's opposite side of the square, it will be 10. Do we know any side of these two squares? These are all same, yeah, it's 8. So this is 8, this is 8. 8 plus 8, 16, plus 10, 26. So we need to subtract 26 from 42, which is 16. I hope you have understood. So whenever such questions come, look at the shape, look at the figure carefully, look at the measurements which are given, and see the opposite side, see the smaller segments, and see what can be added or subtracted from a bigger segment to find the missing part. So the answer here is 16. Let's move on to, in previous question I could see a few replying as 42 plus 16, but 42 is the entire length. We need to find out only this length. So it will be 42 minus 16. Okay? Okay, find out the perimeter of this shaded portion. Very easy. All of these are squares because length here, the length is 1 centimeter, length of this segment is also 1 centimeter. So all of these are squares. Now let's find out the perimeter of only the shaded part. Let's recall our definition of perimeter. Perimeter is the, what is the perimeter? It is the length of the boundary, the outer border, the distance that is all around the outside of the shape, right. So, in this figure, if we look for the perimeter of the shaded portion, this will be the, this will be the border for which we need to find out the length. I think it's very simple. You can just quickly count. You can quickly count the lengths. I can already see you have understood and you have started replying the right answers. Let me explain how do we solve these questions. We need to see the length of one segment. We already know it's 1. Now count the total number of segments which are adding up to make this perimeter. So always start such questions by marking the lines which you have already counted. So let's start from this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. It's very, very important to mark the lines that we have counted, because the common mistake that kids do while solving such questions is counting the first line twice. So always use your pen and pencil and cut and then count. So here it's 20. And important thing for us to note is these lines should not be counted, because these are inside the figure. We are talking about the perimeter, and perimeter is the length of the border. So these lines will not be counted. The lines which are at the edge of this figure will be counted. So the answer is 20. I hope you have understood this. Let us move on to the next question, which is again related to perimeter. I will give you some time to solve this. Ram is fencing 4 fields and wants to start with the one that needs the most wire. Most wire means the longest wire. Which should be the field that he should be choosing? Look at the figure carefully. He has to start with the field which has the longest wire. Now let me explain you only the meaning of fencing and then you try solving it. What is fencing? Fencing is when we have a place and we put a border around it to safeguard that place, so that outsiders can't move in, or maybe imagine there is a garden and we use a fencing of a wood or a wire or a metal so that animals, they don't come inside the garden. And imagine we have a farmhouse and we fence it so that our pets don't go out. Okay, so that's fencing. So when we talk about fencing, which means we are talking about the border, the outside border. Hence we have to calculate perimeter. Now see what will be the answer, and can somebody also explain why? You are writing the figure number. Okay. Most of you are saying figure 3. Let me also clear confusion for those students who are writing 4 and 2 as well. Perimeter means the longest border. Here we need to see the wire which is of the longest length. Let us find out the perimeter of this. This is 3, 2 and 2, 3 plus 3, 6 and 2 plus 2, 4. So it will be 10. It is 3 plus 3 plus 3, it will be 9. This is 5 plus 5 plus 5, this will be 20. And if we see this figure, it will be 3 plus 1, 4 plus 2, 6 plus 5, 11 plus 4, which is 15. So here in this figure, we will be needing the longest wire to fence this field. So Ram will start from this field. Okay. Let's move on to next question of the perimeter. What is the total length of the boundary in this figure? It's very straightforward. Look at the figure carefully. The steps that we followed in the last figure, where we had to find x and y. Similar strategy will work here as well. I'll give you some time to solve. Okay. Let me give you some hint and then you may try solving. We can complete the figure, we can complete the rectangles which are part of this figure. Here the answers are mixed. Let me explain the logic to you and then you can find it out. We need to find out the perimeter, which means we need to find out the length of this border. So let's start with this portion. This is 8, and if we see the opposite side of this, it will be 8. This is 14, and we see the opposite side, it will be 14. So length of this entire segment will be 14 plus 8, which is 22. So this vertical length is 22. Now let's see the length of this part. If we complete this figure, this 6 length will be projected here, this will be 6, and this 3 will come here, it will be 6 plus 3, which is 9. This is 9, this is 22. Now let's figure this out. Let's see what is this length. This is 3, then 14 plus 6. One way is to add this 6 plus 3, 8 plus 14, 3 plus 14 plus 6 plus 8, and we will get 62. And other way is, there is one more way to solve this question. Yeah, I can see a lot of answers as 62, but few are saying 31 as well. We need to find out the perimeter, and perimeter is the entire length, not just this and this. We need to look at this boundary, this length, and this length as well. 8 plus 14, which is 22, 8 plus 14, which this is 22, 6 plus 3 is 9, 6 plus 3 is 9. So 9 plus 9, 18, 18 plus 44, which is 62. Another way to solve this question is, if we look at this part, we can bring 14 here and can bring 6 here and just flip this figure. We will have both the lines, just flip this figure and bring this point here, and then we can see this is 14, this is 6. So in this way we will complete the rectangle. One side of the rectangle is 22 and another is 9. We can simply do 9 plus 9 and 22 plus 22. So in any which ways you solve, the answer will be 62. Okay, now I can see everyone is typing 62. Let's move on to the next question. Again, in this figure, you need to find the perimeter, you need to find the entire length of this border. Look at the figure very carefully. Look at the lengths and the segments which are given to us. Here we have 13, we have 7, 6, 5, 4. We do not know what is this length and we don't know what is this length. And this is also not known. Let's try figuring out if we can get these lengths from the mentioned lines. Somebody is writing, I added all of these and the answer is 20. You need to find out the length of the entire figure, not just the lengths which are given. So do some projections, complete some triangle, complete some lines and see how you can calculate this portion and this portion. Only few right answers. Okay, so let me explain this to you. Again, the logic is simple. Just complete this figure and now try finding out. see how is this line formed. It's the combination of this line, this segment, and this segment. What is length of this segment? It is 7. What is length of this segment? It is 5. And what is length of this segment? It is 4. So 7 plus 5 plus 4, it will be length of this part, which is 16. Now, what about this part? It is already given 13. So this will also be 13 because it's opposite to this line. So we have 13 plus 13, which is 26, plus 16. Now we need to see the length of this remaining part. It's very clear, this is 7, this is 6, 7 plus 6 is 13, then we add 5 to it, it becomes 18. Now what is length of this? Since this is opposite to 6, it will be 6. So add 6, 7 plus 6, 11, 11 plus 5, 18, 18 plus 6, 24, 24 plus 4, 28. So if we add all these sides 13 plus 13 plus 16 plus 24, the answer will be 70. I could see all the 70s coming, but this is the logic. Whenever such figures are given, look at the figure carefully, complete the rectangles, project the lines, the measurements which are already given, try projecting it, projecting all of them on the opposite sides, and then try adding it. Okay, let's move on to next question. Perimeter of the figure formed by 9 identical squares is 140 centimeter. Here you can see 9 squares, 9 same squares, and the perimeter is 140. What is length of each side of square? We have already done a similar question. Let's see if you are able to find this answer. We need to find out this is a perimeter which is given. We need to find length of this one segment. What is the length of this one side? Now, okay, I'll give you some time to solve. Look at the figure and see how many segments are adding up to make this perimeter. Okay, I have not started seeing the right answer yet. So perimeter of this entire figure is 140. We need to find out length of one side. Okay, few right answers. Okay, let me explain. We have started getting right answers, but let me explain the logic to you, how we got this. Total perimeter is 140. So length of the entire border is 140 centimeter. Now we need to find out length of one portion. So how many these lines, equal lines, are adding up to make this 140? Let's count it. Do not forget to mark the lines which you have already counted. Let's start from this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and we forgot to count this, 20. So 20 total lines, and the entire length is 140. So what is length of one segment? We simply divide 140 by 20, which is 7. So length of one segment is 7. Okay, let's move on to, I think this is end of our section 3, which is perimeter. We will have a puzzle for all of you now, puzzle break. Okay, let me, So this is a figure which is given to you, and let me read out the puzzle for you. Here's a square carpet. Along each edge there are 2 rows of the dots with the same number of points. How many dots in total does this carpet have? So there is a carpet which is folded, and you can see the dots here in the carpet, and it is of square shape. So now how many dots will be there in this entire carpet? You need to do some visualization here, or you can also complete this carpet and see how many dots are there. Try solving it on your notebook. You can quickly draw. Remember, we need to find out the total dots which are there in this figure. Okay, I'll give you 30 more seconds to solve. There were some hints already on the board. Still, I cannot see the right answer. Okay, let me give you some hint here. It is a square carpet which has these 2 rows of dots on the edge. So let's complete this carpet first. 6 dots here, 6 dots here, and let's complete this as well. Since there are just 2 rows, so this is the real picture of the carpet. Now, how do we find out the total number of dots? There is a way to find out. We can put some dots in the middle and we'll tell how to count it easily. It's a square grid with 6 dots on this edge and 6 here. So it's a matrix of 6 by 6. So 6 6 are 36. 36 total number of dots on this carpet, but we have, just a second, but we have drawn these 4 dots ourselves to make the calculations easy. So 36, now we need to subtract these 4 dots, 36 minus 4, which is 32. I could see a lot of students replying 36. So let me explain another way to solve this question. There is one more way to solve it. Let's look at the dots which are there in the carpet. Okay, so this row has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots. Okay, let me just quickly redraw the entire. Let's redraw this entire carpet. It's a square one, complete these dots. Here, and this is 3, 4, 5. These are the rows. We got, now let's count the dots. Come to this row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this row, this line has 6 dots. In this segment, there are 6 dots. Look at this, 2 are here and 2 are here. So this will have 4. This line will have 1, 2, 3, 4, again 4 dots, and this row will have 6, and this also has 6. So this is another way to solve. 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 4 plus 6 plus 6. Remember, there are no dots inside. So one way is to put 4 dots inside and then multiply 6 into 6, 36 and subtract 4. Another way is to count the number of dots that are there already without drawing the inner dots. Okay, so the answer is 32. Let's move on to next section, and this is the last section, computational sense. So what is computational sense? Computational sense is like having number sense, the understanding that you have for numbers, how the numbers work. So let's see how the questions come under this segment. Okay, so it's more like numbers and operations. First question in this is, what is the sum of largest 3-digit number and smallest 2-digit number? Let's quickly frame the numbers. Okay, sum of largest 3-digit number and smallest 2-digit number. 3-digit number we have ones, tens and 100. What is the largest 3-digit number? How do we form it? We put the highest digit, largest digit at the largest place, and then since digits are not repeating, it's 9 digits can repeat. Nowhere it's written that digits should not repeat, so it's 999. And what is the smallest 2-digit number? It's 10. So what is the sum? 999 plus 10. Can I get the answer? Yeah, it's 1009. This was very simple question. Now moving on to a bit difficult. What is the difference of the largest 4-digit number and smallest 3-digit number? Largest 4-digit number and smallest 3-digit number. It's very simple. I think all of you can answer. If you can also write largest number and then smallest number and can show me the subtraction statement. Okay, quickly. Let's solve this. Largest 4-digit number is 999 and 9. And what is the smallest 3-digit number? It's 100. So now subtracting 100 from 9999, we get 9899. I could see the right answer already. Now let me see if you can solve this next question. What is the sum of largest 4-digit number and largest 3-digit number? What is the sum of largest 4-digit and largest 3-digit? Now let's write the numbers. 4-digit number 9999 and largest 3-digit number, which is 999. Now for these questions we generally don't add on the paper. There is a trick to do this. I can see you have already added, but yeah, I can also see a few people posting the trick. Let me explain. To solve these questions fast, we just add 1 to 999 and it becomes 10,000, and add 1 to this, it becomes 1,000, and then subtract 2 from it for quick calculation. So 10,000 plus 1,000 minus 2, it is 10998. I can already see the right answers coming, but this is how we can solve the questions when they come up in competitive exams. Now, how many times should 7 be subtracted from 72 to get 37? How many times we should subtract 7 from 72 until we reach 37? Let me see if you can solve this question. I'll then quickly explain how many times we need to subtract 7. So this is 72. Imagine we are subtracting 7 from 72 again and again, and we need to get 37. So this should be the remainder. So 72 minus something should be 37. If we subtract 37 from 72, we will get 35. So 35 is the number that we need to subtract from 72, but subtraction has to be in repetitions of 7. So how do we get this? 35 divided by 7, which is 5. Division is nothing but repeated subtraction. I could already see 5 coming in the answers. We will have similar questions. Now Okay, let's see this question. How many times should 9 be added to 9 to get 198? How many times 9 should be added to 9 to get 198? Can I get answer to this first question in the chat? I can see a few students asking for Kahoot. We will have just a few more questions and we will move to Kahoot. Remember, these sort of things will come there as well, so it's very important for you to practice. Okay, in this I can see lot of you replying 22 times. Let me explain this to you. How many times should 9 be added to 9? Which means 9 plus 9 few number of times to get 198. So 9 added how many times to get 198? Simply we divide 198 with 9, which is 22, and we will get the answer. But there is a different question which is asked. How many times should 9 be added to 9? Which means we already have one 9. How many times other 9s should be added to this one 9 to get 198? So it will not be 22, it will be 21 times. Yeah? Okay, the next question, how many times should 6 be subtracted from 98 to get 14? We have already done this, the similar question. Can I quickly get the answer? How many times should 6 be subtracted from 98 to get 14? Okay. We have number 98, remainder is 14. Yeah, most of the students are replying 14. Let me quickly explain. Remainder should be 14 and we need to start subtracting from 98. So 98 minus 14, which is 84. Now we need to see how many times should 6 be subtracted from 84. So it is repeated subtraction. So we just divide 84 by 6. So the answer is yes, 14 times. Okay. I hope these questions are clear. We just need to see the relationship between the numbers that are given and need to see whether we need to subtract or add. Moving on to next question. Very simple. We will be a bit fast now because these are very simple questions. The difference between 86 tenths and something is 482. 86 tenths, we first of all should make subtraction statement. 86 tenths, 860 minus something is 482. So imagine this question as difference between 10 and something is 3. So how do we calculate these questions? We simply subtract 3 from 10. Similarly, here also we need to subtract 482 from 860. Can I get the right answer now? Can I? Yeah. So whenever one number is not given which has to be subtracted, we simply subtract answer from the minuend. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Same, sum of 63 hundredths and something is 9912. I will leave this question to you. 63 hundredths plus something is 9912. What do we need to do here to find out this number? Yeah, we simply subtract this one number from 9912 from the sum and we get the remaining addend. Difference between 8 to 1/10 and something is 1009. We have already done this sort of question. 8 21/10, let's complete the statement first. 8 21/10 and something is 1009. Simple. Can I get answer to this question completely? Okay. So this is the answer. We simply subtract 1009 from 8210. Yeah, see, answer is 7210, and students have already started posting, and I know you are eagerly waiting for Kahoot quiz. We still have 3 more questions and then we'll move on to quiz. A company paid 91,713 as airfare for 19 tickets. What is the cost of one ticket? What is the cost of one ticket? How do we solve these questions when value of more quantities is given and we need to find out the value of one quantity, one item? What do? We simply divide. We simply divide total with the number which is given. 91713 divided by 19. Yeah, so the answer is, you can divide, it's 4827. I am leaving this question to you. You can divide on paper. Moving to next question. Simple, there are 7 rows of seats in a theatre. There are 7 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And each row has the same number of seats. All these rows have same seats. If there is a total of 245 seats, how many seats are there in each row? We need to find out the number of seats in one row. So we have total 7 seats and total seats are 245. So when total number is given and number of rows is given, we need to find out for one row. When multiple items are given and we need to find out value of one item, then we simply divide, and I can already see the answers coming. 245 divided by 7, which is 35. Yeah. Okay, moving on to the last question. Okay, I'll explain this question quickly to you, and there is another question after this which you will have to solve. Understand this question very carefully because these sort of questions come in Olympiad. This is the last question. Here we have a number, something is divided with this number and then it is multiplied with 6 and then answer is added to 4 and then 14 is subtracted from that answer and finally we get 80. We need to find the number from where we started. So let me explain you the way to solve these questions. We always start backwards when we solve these questions because we have the last value and we need to find out the first value. Now let's see, there is a number which is divided by 3 and then we get some number which is multiplied by 6 and then when we get a number which is added to 4 and then we get a number which is subtracted from which 14 is subtracted and then we get 80. So now quickly backtrack. There is a number from which 14 is subtracted and we get 18. What is that number? We simply reverse the operation while solving these questions. Something is from some number, 14 is getting subtracted and the answer is 80. So what will come here in this place? We simply add 14 and 80, it's 94. Now look at this statement, there is a number to which 4 is added and 94 is the answer. So what is that number to which 4 is added and 94 is the answer? Okay, yeah, I can see you have started replying 90. So 90 plus 4 is 94. Now look at this statement. With some number 6 is multiplied to get 90. What is that number? We will reverse the operation, 90 divided by 6. So 15 is the number which is multiplied with 6 to get 90. Now what is the number? What number should come here? The answer is 14. Some number is divided by 3 and the answer is 14. We simply reverse the operation, 15 into 3 which is 45. 45 divided by 3 is 15. So if you now see the answer will be 80. So we started with 45 number. I hope this is clear. We see the last number and we backtrack and then find out the answer. Let's move on to last question of this section. Let me see if you can solve it. There is a number which is divided by 6 and then we get a number. It is multiplied by 6 and let me see if you can solve it. I've just put boxes for you to solve it quickly. Some have started giving the answer, few answers are right. Okay, I can see a few answers from the middle stage. We need this answer, the number from which it is starting. Okay, I can see all of you have already started replying the right answer, which is 618, but let's see how this comes. There is a number to which 4 is added and 184 is the answer. So that number is 180, reverse operation, just subtract 4 from 184. Now, this place, there is a number to which 6 is multiplied and the answer is 18. So we just divide 180 by 6, which is 30. Now number which is divided by 7 and we get 30, it will be 210. Coming to this, a number to which we add 4 and we get 210, it will be 206. And then a number which is multiplied with 2 and the answer is 206. So it is 103. Again, now there is a number with which by which 6 is divided and answer is 103. We simply multiply these two and answer will be, I could already see that lot of students have answered 618, but this is the way we solve these questions. Okay. Now we have one last puzzle, but I'll skip this because we are already running late. We will now move to Kahoot. So we learned 4 things today: analogy, computational sense, embedded figures and perimeter. Let's now move on to quiz. What I want all of you to do is open your phone and type kahoot.it. Type kahoot.it and we will give you a game pin quickly and enter your full name. Once you are logging into Kahoot, please enter your right name for us to identify, because here you will be seeing the leaderboard as well. Okay, so you will get the game pin. All of you just log on to Kahoot, kahoot.it. Link is given in the chat. And enter the game pin and enter your right name. Okay, the game pin is 599811. We have 249 students who have joined. We will wait for 30 more seconds for everyone to join. Please enter your right name, your correct name, because your name will be displayed on the leaderboard. Log on to kahoot.it and enter this game pin for students who have just joined. Log into kahoot.it and enter this game pin, write your correct name, and you'll be able to see your name for a moment here on the screen as well. So we have 320 students. We will wait for maybe 30 more seconds. You can also sign into your app if you have Kahoot app and enter this pin. All right, so 340 students have joined. We will be now starting the quiz. Let me explain you the rules of the quiz first. It's a game of speed and accuracy. The faster you give the answer and the correctness of the answer will determine the place on the leaderboard. So it is just a warm-up question for you. Just a warm-up question to see if you are familiar with the interface, if you can understand how this works. We got 300 answers. Okay. So only 3 seconds and time is up. All right. So all of you now know how to participate. Let me explain the rules of the quiz. You will get around 10 questions here. This is determined by the correctness of the answer and speed of the answer. You need to be very quick, you need to be accurate for you to be on the leaderboard. So look at the answers very carefully and submit as early as you get the answer. Moving on to the first question now. It was just a warm-up question. Find the missing figure. Find the missing figure, okay. Yeah, so 238 students got it right. Answer was 6. Let's see the leaderboard now. We have Shinchan at the top, Kian, Mahika, Nirmala and Sanvi. Okay, let's move on to next question. Find the missing figure again. Find the missing figure. We have 30 seconds to solve this question. Okay, so 184 students got it right. And let's see the leaderboard. These sort of questions we already did in our sections today. It was an analogy question. Let's see the leaderboard now. It has totally shuffled. Atiksh 1861, Hui Hui at 1838, Aradhya, Tarun and Aruna are no boy. Okay, let's move on to next question. Find the missing image again. All right, 282 students got it right, and let's see the leaderboard. It was again an analogy question. Let me quickly show you. Here we have a square, square, and in this relationship, triangle is moving out and square is moving in. Similarly, here in this triangle will move out and square will move in. So the answer is this one. 282 students got it right. Let's see the leaderboard. Arno Boy has moved up, Swapnil, Jayansh, Aradhya Dikshit and Siddhu. Okay, moving on to next question. We still have 6 more questions. Everyone has chance to be on the leaderboard. Which of the 4 options has part that exactly matches the figure here? Okay, 328 students got this right, and the scoreboard now is Arnoboy at the top, then Jayan, Shuvansh, Aradhya and Vian. Moving on to next question. In which of the options is this figure embedded exactly? Okay, so 350 students gave the right answer. Again, this was from the topic that we already learned today, embedded figures. Remember, it's a game of speed and accuracy. If you get the answer, quickly type in to be on the leaderboard. Arno Boy still on the top, Jayan, Shivansh, Anurag and Vian. Moving on to our 7th question. Which of the 4 options exactly matches a part of the figure here? 30 seconds for you to solve. Fifteen more seconds. Okay, so 208 students got it right. Let's have a look at the scoreboard now. Jayansh moved at the top, then we have Yuvansh, Samarth, Hridya and not named. Okay. 8th question in the quiz, and it will have double points for you. Find the perimeter of this figure. Look at the figure carefully. You have 1 minute to solve this question. Ten seconds left. And only 60 students got it right. Okay, let's look at the leaderboard. Hui Hui at the top, Samarth, Hridya, Athya and Natik. Okay, let's move on to the next question. And we just have 3 more questions now. Find the perimeter of this figure. We just have 5 more seconds. Quickly, we still need to get answer from 40 students. And time is up. 26 is the right answer and 185 students got it right. Let's see the leaderboard. Hui Hui has moved down. Samarth on the top, Adrish, Atiya and Hardik. Only 2 more questions now. This is second last. If the days are labeled 1 to 7 starting from Sunday, and Christmas is on number 2. When will the New Year come? On which day will New Year fall? 15 more seconds left. Still need to get answers from 100 students. And time is up. Okay, only 69 students got it right. Let me quickly explain the question to you. 1 to 7 starting from Sunday. So second is Monday and Christmas is on 25th. After 7 days, New Year. If Christmas is on number 2, which is Monday, so New Year will also be on number 2. Okay, let's see the leaderboard now. Hui moved up, Atya, Samarth, Pranit and Adrish. Only one question is left to decide the winner, and this will have double points. X is left after equally dividing 35 in groups of 3. How many X's would it take to make 120? Forty seconds left, and this is the last question, the deciding one. Okay, so time is up. 171 students got it right. Let's see the final leaderboard. At number 3, it's Satya. At number 2 is Praneet, and Hui is at number 1. Congratulations to all the winners, and good job by all the students who participated. Okay, so this brings us to end of our session. This concludes our session. Now, all the students who are with us, who've been with us for a long time, all Cuemath students, I hope you will continue doing such questions with your teachers. And all the students who are not in Cuemath, go to our website, book a free trial. If you really want to solve these interesting puzzles and the questions that we did today, book a trial, experience our teaching, and do enroll with Cuemath and get a consistent learning and a consistent practice of such questions from us. I enjoyed a lot teaching all of you. I hope all of you also enjoyed. We will meet next Sunday, same time for grade 3 and 4. And till then, do a lot of math, have great time, and solve a lot of interesting puzzles. See you on Sunday. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.